Good Monday afternoon. It is time for the first look at 49ers Eagles for the NFC Championship. All the marbles in the conference up for grabs on Sunday afternoon, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern time from South Philadelphia. So this is just going to be an overview here as we set the table to delve into this matchup over the course of this week. A little bit later tonight, when more people are settled in, it's going to be Lombardi's look back at 49ers Cowboys and the look ahead to the Eagles. But there's a lot of demand for information on this game, and I've already dug up some of it, some of the analytics, some of the film study to prepare you for what should be the game of the year in the NFC. First of all, let's take a look at team tiers. I put this out there. These are team tiers since week 8. Now, yes, I understand there's a little bit of an asterisk involved here, especially from the Philadelphia side, because since week 8, they obviously were missing Jalen Hurts for a couple of games. But the 49ers have just been so good since they picked up Christian McCaffrey and plugged him into the lineup full time that it must be illustrated that they're way up here, and Philadelphia is in the second tier. Now, Philadelphia with Hurts is going to be better offensively. So if you take out the Minshew games, the Eagles logo would move a little bit further to the right. The x-axis is offense, y-axis is defense. You want to be further to the up and to the right. So Philadelphia might crack tier 1 with the 49ers. There's an argument to be made that these are the two most efficient teams in football. One staggering stat that was delivered to me via Twitter because somebody else used the team tier chart to illustrate a point. I'm going to make this bigger, put this up on the screen. Appreciate Alex the Lion 22, who follows me on Twitter, and he decided to filter for just the second half. Look at the second half performance of teams ever since the 49ers picked up Christian McCaffrey. 49ers are a second half football team. We saw it again when they wore down Dallas. Look where they are, all the way up here and to the right. This is huge, especially within the context of some of the information that I'm about to give you regarding Philadelphia's strengths and their weaknesses. I'm still looking. Yeah, there are the Eagles right here. 49ers in the second half are a tier 1 team. There are no tier 2 teams. There is only one tier 3 team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Interestingly, Dallas has been a good second half team this year, or Dallas was. We can talk about them in the past tense now. And Philly's down here in tier 4. So the 49ers enter this game just outpacing everyone in the second half. And that's because Christian McCaffrey is, this is the kind of player that you can build entire adjustments around in the second half, because he can run or he can pass. And the 49ers have so many of these versatile guys. George Kittle was a great example yesterday. With their versatility, the 49ers can set you up for the kill over the final 30 minutes. And that's obviously something they're going to try to do when they play the Philadelphia Eagles with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line on Sunday. All right, so let's go through a quick Eagles scouting report. They, on the surface, they have an awesomely explosive offense. They obviously can throw the ball all over the field, but Jalen Hurts can also run. That's one of the 49ers' Achilles heels when you compare it to other things that they might be good at or they might struggle against. Well, these quarterbacks who can take off and run have obviously done some damage against the 49ers. I've always been very careful to emphasize that running quarterbacks are going to do damage against everybody, every team, not just the 49ers. And that's true. I think the 49ers and their quote-unquote struggles against running quarterbacks are often taken out of context and blown out of proportion. But when you're playing a team like the Eagles that's so explosive all over the court, the entire formation of the football field, you absolutely have to make sure that your pass rushing lanes and your spies are all the P's and the Q's are taken care of, because otherwise you will get roasted on the ground. The Eagles have roasted teams on the ground, and the 49ers don't want to be victimized at crucial junctures of this game. But Miles Sanders, Philadelphia running back, Pro Bowler, over Christian McCaffrey. We can argue about that all day, but that is what happened. They picked up A.J. Brown in the trade with the Tennessee Titans this offseason. Star wideout has obviously helped Jalen Hurts take his game to another level. Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins. I mean, this is a team with weapons at wideout. It's going to be a challenge for the 49ers to cover everybody. Dallas Goedert is a good, stable tight end, kind of like Dalton Schultz delivered for the Dallas Cowboys this season and against the 49ers yesterday, although he did step out of bounds there at the end of the game. Goddard is a good multi-dimensional player to slot into that tight end role for Philly. And they have an awesome offensive line. The Eagles have one of the few offensive lines that's been better than the 49ers this season in pass protection. Jordan Mailata at left tackle. The guy just learned how to play football a few years ago, but he's a complete athletic freak, and he has locked down that left tackle position well. Landon Dickerson, the former Alabama center, at left guard. Obviously, Jason Kelsey, he's been doing it for a long time and at a very high level at center. Isaac Seumalo, the Oregon State product, at right guard. He was a good offensive lineman in the Pac-12. And Lane Johnson, another ageless wonder at right tackle. That is a quality Philadelphia front, and probably, I think, the biggest reason that the 49ers should be worried in this game. I think that you respect the Eagles most because of what they can do along both lines of scrimmage, and that offensive line prowess extends to the other side of the football. The Eagles' D-line has 6 first-round draft picks. The top sack rate in the NFL, 11.4% of opponents' dropbacks have ended in sacks. They're at something like 74 or more sacks on this season. I lost count. The last time I saw it was over 70, which is a certifiably insane number. And the Eagles also have playmakers in the defensive backfield. Darius Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, James Bradbury. Those are some of their DBs, and they're all good football players. They can prey on errant passes that come as a result of that really good sack rate that comes from an awesome pass rushing defensive line. Brandon Graham has been there ever since Mike McGlinchey was a kid. He's still on the team. Fletcher Cox, he's been there ever since Mike McGlinchey grew up in the Philadelphia area as a kid. He's on the team. Javon Hargrave gave the 49ers trouble in week 2 last season. Powerful defensive tackle. Josh Sweat can get after the quarterback. This is a deep, talented, ferocious defensive line for the Eagles getting after opposing QBs. The 49ers will be tested, although I do have to emphasize that they already were tested by Dallas, who actually has a higher pressure rate than the Eagles. The Cowboys have a 44% pressure rate. The Eagles are at 40%. The Eagles' sack rate is higher, though, but the analytics people will tell you that pressures are a more predictive indicator of sacks and more pressure coming in the future than sacks are. Anyway, the point is still clear. Philadelphia is really good up front, and the 49ers did struggle a bit with Dallas's really good front. It's impossible not to struggle with fronts that are this good. 49ers fans should know. In 2019, the 49ers had a front on the defensive side that was as good, maybe even better than what Dallas and Philadelphia are bringing to the table. But the 49ers obviously are going to have their hands full. Balanced football is going to be very, very necessary. The good news for the 49ers is that despite all these superlatives that we're delivering about Philadelphia's pass rush and their coverage, well, they have the number 21 run defense in the league. Philadelphia's run defense is a bona fide weakness. And guess what? The 49ers are a running football team. I'll amend that. I'll say the 49ers are a balanced football team. And the fact that they're balanced means they can win games by stuffing that run game, right? By just taking the rock, giving it to Christian McCaffrey, giving it to Elijah Mitchell, giving it to Jordan Mason. There are a lot of opportunities for the 49ers on the ground in games against teams that struggle to stop the run. Dallas, for comparison, last week or yesterday, it's still only Monday, was the number 5 run defense DVOA in football. Philadelphia is down at number 21, and it doesn't matter if you divide the splits up to after their acquisition of Ndamukong Suh, or after Jordan Davis's return from injury, or after their acquisition of Linval Joseph, who they picked up at the same time as Ndamukong Suh. They're still in the 20s. The run defense efficiency for Philadelphia is still in the 20s. This is a weakness for this team. You look back at the game against Washington when Philly was 8-0 and Washington beat them 32-21. The Commanders rushed the ball 49 times in that game. They only averaged 3.1 yards per carry, but they picked up 12 third down conversions in that game, and they ran and did what they needed to do at just the right time when they absolutely needed to do it. The Eagles, to give you another metric, stuff rate on defense, that is the percentage of time that they shut down the opposing offense on 3rd or 4th and short on running plays with less than 2 yards to go, the Eagles rank last in the NFL. So when they know the run is coming, the Eagles have stopped it less effectively than any other team in the NFL. So it makes sense that Washington went in there and beat them 32-21 in a game where they ran the ball 49 times. Now, it takes a lot more than just running it up against a brick wall 49 times. You have to convert with your QB. Brock Purdy is going to have a lot on his plate this week. You have to make sure that you deliver with precise efficiency at critical junctures to be able to unlock the run game. But that weakness is there, and it is pronounced. The Eagles are number 21 in run defense DVOA. And while their defense might be set up to take on all of the prolific pass rushers, all the prolific pass offenses of the NFL, the 49ers are so balanced that they can zag while the rest of the league is zigging. That's something that Kyle Shanahan has striven to implement in his offense. That's why they have all these multi-positional players like George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey, so that you can flip in between the run game and the pass game. And you can keep a defense that might be a little bit one-dimensional like Philadelphia's as far as their specialty of going after the pass game, going after with that pass rush. You can expose those types of defenses with a balanced multi-dimensional offense, and that's what the 49ers are going to have to do. If we want to take a look at a couple more specific stats with Philadelphia, they're number 24 in pass defense against running backs. Christian McCaffrey definitely likes that. I had a chance right here to deliver a cool little meme photo, but I missed the opportunity to do so smoothly. So I guess I'll do so retroactively. If I scroll down and find this, man, I tweet too much for my own good. I will say that. I actually might have passed where I put this. Here it is. All right, so we have Philadelphia's run defense or pass defense DVOA against specific positions. So let's check this out because there's a picture that goes with this. If they're number 24 in pass defense DVOA against running backs, Christian McCaffrey is going to give it a thumbs up. Christian McCaffrey likes that. Now you can see the other splits on the screen. The Eagles are also number 22 DVOA against number 3 and number 4 wide receivers. So maybe we should get an image of Jawan Jennings giving the thumbs up as well. Philadelphia has been good across the board except for against running backs and other wide receivers. They've been number 2 against number 1 wideouts, number 4 against number 2 wideouts, and number 6 against tight ends. But against running backs, they've been number 24 efficiency, and against receivers that aren't in those top 2 slots, number 22. Those are 2 very specific weaknesses for the Eagles, indicating that the linebackers aren't great in coverage, that the safeties might be relying a little bit more on the cornerbacks in this defense and on the pass rush because the 49ers and because the Eagles have generally struggled against the more outlet-oriented weapons in the opposing offensive formation, running backs and auxiliary wide receivers. So that's 3rd and Jawan Jennings, and Christian McCaffrey in this game. Put that last stat up on the screen for you. But that's the first look at 49ers Eagles. Hope this gives you a cursory idea of where the 49ers are going to try to attack, and we're going to expand on all of these thoughts more as the week progresses. Everybody, thank you. I'm going to be back with a long show later tonight. Lombardi's look back at 49ers Cowboys, a little bit of a tape dissection. We'll talk about some of the big plays in that game, and we'll also discuss how the 49ers can spin it forward moving to Philadelphia. All right, everybody, have a good Monday afternoon. We will talk very soon.